Hi, it's Tash. Welcome to Tash's Library. Today's video is going to be my April TBR game. Once again, I'm going to be trying to fulfill the Buzzwordathon prompts, which this month are going to be an animal in the title and an animal on the cover. So it should be easy because I have lots of those. And I will also be doing Orilium, but I will discuss that at the end, and I'm hoping that I can fit some of the books that I pick from our TBR game into Orilium. Let's go to the rolls. And this is the board. I play with my trusty little Lego Eeyore, who starts here in a bookworm space, and he goes around counterclockwise, and depending on what color he lands, I pull a corresponding colored card. Red is its vibe, so they are genres and tropes and settings. Yellow is all in the making, which is publication details and authors. Purple is from cover to cover, which are cover prompts. Blue is what's in a name, which are title prompts. And It's So Random. Green is basically other games like Pick a Wheels, etc. Just random choice options. I throw 2 dice. If I throw a double, I add an extra roll, which is what makes it quite exciting. So without further ado, let's begin. First roll. That starts it well. So that's a double 1. All right, 1, 2. So that's a yellow prompt, which is all in the making. And it's a short book. Well, that's good considering I've just started a roll. A short book will be very helpful indeed. All right, all in the making, and this time it's a short book, and I'm going to pick Garlic and the Witch, which is a very, very cute graphic novel. Now, I read Garlic and the Vampire in December and really, really enjoyed it, and so I'm really looking forward to this one. It has really adorable colored images, and they're just really fun, cozy reads. But this is just a really short read, particularly being a graphic novel. And so I'm going to put this one on and hopefully enjoy this one. Second roll. Oops. Second roll is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a cover prompt. Top one. And that is a dark cover. Okay, so any dark colored cover. From cover to cover, and it's a dark cover. And for this one, I'm going to take the opportunity to complete the series, His Dark Materials, with the Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman. As you can see, the cover is largely dark. I know it has some white elements, but the background is pretty dark. And this particular series follows Lyra, who grows up at a university college in Oxford, and she overhears a dangerous conversation and gets drawn into a polar expedition adventure and a lot of peril. I love the first book. The second book was pretty good as well. So I'm looking forward to bringing this home, and hopefully the Amber Spyglass is also going to be awesome. But more importantly, this is going to fulfill one of my ambitions for this year, which is to complete series. Third roll is a double 10. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a yellow one again. So that's going to be a book published last year. So that's 2024. All in the making, and it's a book published last year. And for this one, I'm going to take the opportunity to get some sci-fi onto my TBR. And that's with Alien Clay by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This cover is awesome. I have enjoyed the Tchaikovskys I've read so far, and this one sounds pretty good. I didn't get around to reading it last year, so here is my chance. In terms of the synopsis, it is set on the distant world of Kiln, where the ruins of an alien civilization lie. It's the greatest discovery in humanity's spacefaring history, yet who were its builders and where did they go? Professor Dagdev has always wanted to study alien life, and obviously he's going to get his chance. So I'm looking forward to this. I love any sort of alien contact stories, and Tchaikovsky's a really good writer, so I'm looking forward to this one a lot. All right, roll number 4 of 10 now is a 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Title prompt, and that is a quantifier in the title. So things like less or many. And what's in a name? And this is a quantifier in the title. And for this one, I'm going to read the first book in the Wayward children's series by Sean Maguire. So that is Every Heart a Doorway. Every being a quantifier. And this one sounds pretty cool. It's a novella series. I've been wanting to try it for quite some time, and I feel okay starting a new series since I am actually completing one as well. So I think that kind of averages out, and hopefully I can continue that trend in this TBR. But Wayward Children follows these children who've always disappeared under the right conditions, slipping through the shadows under a bed or at the back of a wardrobe, tumbling down rabbit holes and into old wells, and emerging somewhere else. But magical lands have little need for used up miracle children. So that's the description for this. I do have this bind up, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting to it. Roll number 5 is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cover prompt. And that's a building on the cover. Nice and easy. From cover to cover, and this is a building on the cover. And for this one, I'm going to go with Arthur C. Clarke, The City and the Stars. There are lots of buildings on this cover, and I really want to continue with some classic sci-fi this month. I have been loving classic sci-fi, and I read a couple Arthur C. Clarke's last year and really enjoyed them. So I'm looking forward to reading more. There had been cities before, but never such a city as Diaspora. For millennia, its protective dome shut out the creeping decay and danger of the world outside. Once it had held powers that ruled the stars, but then the legend said the invaders came, driving humanity into this last refuge. Sounds pretty cool. It's like a distant future book, and Arthur C. Clarke is just a joy to read. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. Roll number 6 is an 11. That was close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Green. It's so random. And this one is a color wheel for cover. Oh, that's fun. It's so random. And this time it's color wheel for cover. So let's go to the spinner wheel, which I have done here and I'm going to put up. And you can see that I got brown. So I'm going to go with the cat who saved books, because it's quite a brown color. It's got a bit of gold in it too, but it's adorable. I love this cover so much. It is so cute. And I wanted to read this. I feel like a cozy, fun book would be really, really good. Very hard to read the synopsis on the back of this though, because of the color. But Natsuki Books was a tiny secondhand bookshop on the edge of town. Inside, towering shelves reach the ceiling, everyone crammed full of wonderful books. Natsuki loved this space that his grandfather had created. He spent many happy hours there, reading whatever he liked. It was the perfect refuge for a boy who tended to be something of a recluse. After the death of his grandfather, Rintaro is devastated and alone. It seems he will have to close the shop. Then a talking tabby cat called Tiger appears and asks for help. The cat needs a book lover to join him on a mission, and this sounds absolutely adorable. I am really looking forward to it. It kind of sounds super, super cozy. Roll number 7 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Title prompt. Magic in the title. What's in a name? And it's magic in the title. And for this one, I'm going to pick a middle grade book on my Kindle, and that's The House at the Edge of Magic by Amy Sparks. 9 is an orphan pickpocket determined to escape her life in the nest of 1,000 treasures. When she steals a house-shaped ornament from a mysterious woman's purse, she knocks on its tiny door and watches it grow into a huge higgledy-piggledy house. Inside, she finds a host of magical and brilliantly funny characters, including Flabbergast, a young wizard who's particularly competitive at hopscotch, and a hideous troll housekeeper who's emotionally attached to his feather duster. This sounds like it's just going to be a really fun, light read for the month. Yes, technically it's starting a new series because this is a series, but it is middle grade and I'm okay with that. Roll number 8 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a cover prompt again. And that's a wintry cover. From cover to cover, and it's a wintry cover. And for this, I'm going to take the opportunity to finish another series, albeit a duology. And this is the sequel to One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. 2 Twisted Crowns. And as you can see from the picture, the cover looks super, super wintry. The first book, One Dark Window, is sort of a tarot magic based fantasy book where a young girl is sort of inhabited by a monster, like a darkness, and she comes across a young man who has an interesting history as well, and they join forces to try and find these cards that are missing that will give whoever owns them quite a lot of power. Obviously it has an element of romance in it, but the romance is only part of the story, which is why I quite enjoyed it still. I felt that there was enough intrigue in terms of the fantasy, in terms of the world building, and certainly the magic system. So I'm really looking forward to the second one. Roll number 9. No, no. It's another double. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a yellow. And it's a Goodreads winner or nominee. All in the making, and it's a Goodreads winner or nominee. And I'm going to take the opportunity to get a book that I really wanted to read last year onto my TBR, and I didn't get a chance to read it. And that is the Stardust Grail. The Stardust Grail was a nominee for the Science Fiction Award in 2024. It didn't win, but it was the one that intrigued me the most from the list. And it's described as an Indiana Jones space heist adventure, which, that's all my buzzwords. Heists, space, Indiana Jones. Oh my gosh, super, super fun. Save one world, do my own. So Maya Hashimoto was once the best art thief in the galaxy, returning stolen artifacts to alien civilizations, until a disastrous job forced her into hiding. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet life as a graduate student of anthropology, but she's haunted by persistent and disturbing visions of the future. Then an old friend comes to her with a job she can't refuse. That sounds super cool. I'm going to so love this book. I can just tell. All right, roll 10 of 11 now. Is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another title prompt. A negative word in the title. And what's in a name? A negative word in the title. And for this one, I'm going to complete the duology that begins with Divine Arrivals. And this follows 2 journalists who end up getting sent to the equivalent of the trenches of World War I, but in a fantasy world. And yes, there is a bit of romance, but ultimately that book was so beautifully written and ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I really should get to it. I wasn't dying to get to the sequel straight away because I sort of need a break when I read anything that has romance in it. But I think it's time to just complete the duology and find out what happens. And hopefully the final roll, because this could be the first month this year so far that I'm not going to finish my TBR. And that is a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bookworm game. Of course it is, because I need more randomness and chaos. But it is fun. So let's go to the bookworm game. This is the bookworm game. It is a dice game by Michael Palm and Lucas Zach. I don't use their dice. I'm just using their cards as prompt cards. They have super obscure prompts. So for example, this card here, you've got the green prompt in the zoo, then you've got typical for Scandinavia, and then typical for my neighbor. These are very tricky. What I do is I'll pull a card and then I throw a die. If I throw 1 or 2, I pick the green prompt. If I throw a 3 or 4, I pick the orange prompt. And if I throw a 5 or 6, I pick the red prompt. So let us shuffle the cards. Shuffle the cards. And let's go with this one here. Oh my gosh. Did you see that? We actually got this card. How did that happen? I could not have made that happen if I tried. And I was about to say, I'm not actually sure I want this card because there's some pretty tricky ones there. Okay, anyway, let's throw the dice. I'm kind of hoping for in the zoo because that would be the easiest. Yes, that's worked out really well. In the zoo, it is. And a bookworm game, and this time I got in the zoo. And for this one, I'm going to stretch this a little bit, but I'm going to go The Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan. I reckon there are serpents in a zoo. I know it's not the word that's actually used, but there are serpents. Yes, my least favorite section of zoos, by the way. But anyway, they are indeed there. And mainly, I really want to continue the series. I read the first book quite a while back and really enjoyed it. I didn't love the ending. And so that sort of put me off continuing straight away. However, I have heard amazing things about the rest of the series, and I'm really looking forward to finding out how this woman who's living in a society where academia is not really a career path for women, but she is super keen to study dragons. She finds a way to study dragons, and apparently then each book looks at her studying dragons in a different part of the world. And I'm super looking forward to finding out what happens in this one and just working out how Lady Trent goes on with her career. And that's it. 11 books. Exciting, all right? However, it is not yet done because I have to consider what I'm going to do for Buzzwordathon. So for Buzzwordathon, animal in the title, I'm going to go with the cat who saved books, cat. And for an animal on the cover, I'm going to go with the Amber Spyglass, which is my bind up of his Dark Materials, because it has this polar bear on the cover. And then I have Orilium. All right, so yes, because I haven't got enough books, but I can fit them all in, I'm pretty certain. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to follow the Math Magician path this time. Yes, I know, I'm not very consistent with Orilium. I sort of just kind of decide on a different career path each time, but I like the idea of maths. I like the idea of maths becoming magic. And so this is what I'm going to do. And more importantly, it only requires 3 books, which I should easily be able to fit in with the books that I have picked. Now, Orilium, I'm going to put in the description below the link to the announcement video. It's a super exciting challenge and it's just so beautifully created. It's just such fun to participate in. Just looking through the resources is just amazing. So I highly recommend that. All right, and so the way it works is you pick a course of study, and then within that course of study, you have to pick particular units of study depending on what you are doing. And so for Math Magicians, the first unit of study I have to do is alchemy, and this course name is volume magnification, and it requires me to read a book whose title is all in capitals. For this one, I'm going to go with The House at the Edge of Magic, which is my little middle grade book, and all the letters on this are in capitals, and it's such a pretty cover. So I'm going to just put that in. I probably could have picked other ones as well. Having a look now at my other books, there are quite a few that are all in capitals, but we have to pick one. Second unit of study is inscription, and the course name here is The Hook, where I have to pick 3 books, read the first sentence, and then pick the best. All right, I've got plenty of books to choose from, so this is a really good prompt because I can just pick a book that I already have. All right, so first book I'm going to look at is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, and the opening line is: the girls were never present for the entrance interviews. Interesting. Okay, that's kind of intriguing. All right, second book. Let's go with Alien Clay by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And the opening line for this one is: they say never start a story with a waking, but when you've been hard asleep for 30 years, it's difficult to know where else to begin. That's a pretty awesome first line, right? I'm thinking I prefer this to the previous one so far. So it comes down to the third one. Third one, let's go with the Stardust Grail, which is on my Kindle. And the opening line is: the largest private collection of rare artifacts from other worlds could be found in central New Jersey at Princeton University. And if anyone knew Maya Hashimoto was a thief, they wouldn't have let her anywhere near there. That's good too. So Alien Clay and Stardust Grail are the 2 that probably capture my attention the most. But I think Stardust Grail is the one I'm going to pick for this one, just because it's intriguing, yet it's sort of light-hearted and humorous as well. So Stardust Grail it is for inscription. And the final subject I have to study is divination. Course name is psychokinesis. And the prompt is a book with witches or the occult. Super easy. I have to pick Garlic and the Witch because, of course, it has witch in the title, and I know it includes a witch. So that is super easy. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Those 3 books fit in nicely. I should be able to do my Orilium prompts along with my TBR game. And finally, because I don't have enough reading to do, I'm going to continue my plan for reading some more short stories with the big book of science fiction. And last month what I did is I spun a picker wheel where I worked out what stories out of this big chunk of a book I'm actually going to read. I was successful in reading the 3 stories that I picked last month. Now, but I also had, I didn't have fewer books really. I had 10 books. So I think I'm going to go with 3 again. If I don't get to them, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to spin on my spinner wheel and I'll put it up here and we can have a look at what I get. Okay, so I've got my spinner wheel, big book of science fiction, and I've got all the stories in there. And yeah, let's see what I get. So I'm going to spin and I'm hoping I get a good one. But who knows, because I don't know what they're going to be like. But anyway. All right. Death is static, death is movement by Misha Noga. Okay, so Misha is a US writer of fiction and poetry, often associated with the cyberpunk movement. So that's pretty exciting because I quite like cyberpunk. Right. Okay, so it's actually an excerpt from her neo-cyberpunk novel, Red Spider, White Web, which was a finalist for the Arthur C. Clarke Award. And this describes a dystopian future, congested, cyberpunkish America dominated by Japan and afflicted by climate change, where artists try to avoid sanctuaries called Mickey Sands, which shelter their inhabitants from the excremental waste and pollution outside, but also sanitize creativity. All right, let's spin again. That's pretty exciting. It's like, I love spinner wheels so much. And the winner is, Schwarzschild Radius by Connie Willis. And I adore Connie Willis, so I'm so excited about this. She's one of my favorite authors so far. And I mean, I can't really say that yet because I've only read one of her series, but she's just superb. So yes, if you haven't read the Oxford Times series, you must read it because it's super good. All right, so let's see where this book is. Let's see where this story is. Oh, okay. So as described, Connie Willis is a US science fiction writer who has won more combined Hugo and Nebula Awards, 18, than any other writer. So that's pretty cool. So Schwarzschild Radius, 1987, is classic Willis. The science is foregrounded more than usual for her, but as in her time travel stories, there's a sharp emphasis on the human impact of that science. It's an impactful story written with a precision and clarity that show the author at the top of her form. That sounds really cool. And the final book, let's spin again. And it's spinning and spinning and spinning. And the winner is A Gift from Culture by Ian M. Banks. Now, I haven't actually read any Ian M. Banks yet. I do have the first Culture novel, so hopefully this won't spoil it for me. Let me know if it will, because that would suck. That would super suck. If it does, I'll just pick another short story to read instead. Okay, so Ian M. Banks was a popular Scottish writer of both general fiction and science fiction, and he's best known for his culture novels, including Consider Phlebas from 1987, which is the one I own at the moment and plan to read shortly. A Gift from the Culture, 1987, is Banks's only short story set in this milieu, giving readers a glimpse of the virtues of this truly extraordinary series. So, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. The first one I have no idea about, but cyberpunk's cool. The next two are either a beloved author and an author I'm really keen to read more of. So yes, that is my TBR in all its glory and chaosity. That's not a word, I know. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until I see you next time, take care.